All right, guys, let's get started. Let's see.
Let's go quick review, because I did tell you all Thursday we would get extra points down the barrel or something like that today. So quick review, we're gonna go ahead and combine the run the pipe from Thursday with the blanking a little bit with the knee cut pass that we did. We were gonna build on top of that. So from a closed stance, remember we're always looking to protect our lead legs. We have a rear hand reach, and now once we have this, it's acceptable and safer to actually establish 2 points of contact. We've been going collar tie, inside tie for this particular entry. We've been going double inside tie. So I might get there this way, then I might go here, and then as I come down for my double tie, I want to make sure, really important, that my head position, my forehead goes into the shoulder. Because if I just hang out here, it's really easy for him to get a dominant head position on me, and this is not going to be really effective. So I'm playing the game, and then as I transition to the double inside tie head position, we are going off this reaction. He already knows it. We're going off the reaction that they're gripping the elbows as a counter grip for this particular entry. Okay. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna step. We always want to, when we're trying to make him step where we want, we always want to step away and pull, step away from the leg we want to attack. So if I want to make him take a step with his rear leg right now, I'm gonna start cutting an ankle, and I'm gonna step away, and I'm gonna give him a hard pull on this side here. I'm looking for that step there. I'm already, before he's even planting, this is a timing thing. This is where timing is really important. I'm already starting to transition into my shot. What I'm looking to do is elevate his right elbow here away from his body. At the same time, take an outside step and reach with this hand. To get my second hand involved and secure the single leg, I want to start running towards the other leg. And notice my head never leaves his body during the shot, right? It's really important on all the single leg stuff we've done is as I come under, we talk about going under the rope in boxing. We've done that analogy before. As I come under this rope, my head is just sliding on him. All right, so now we're in this position. What we're looking to do is right now, I'm his leg, so to speak, right? Especially my lead foot right here. This is where his foot would be if he was standing on his own. So what I want to do is take that away. And what I want to do is, for running the pipe, I'm going to start to take a step out. And then I'm going to remove this as I also drive my head down. So I don't want to drive sideways with my head. If he can just start hopping, we're just going to play ring around the rosies here. What I want to do is as I take this leg away, take the floor from him, I want to drop my head. That's going to cause my shoulder to crash the hip, which is going to create the downward pressure to actually secure the takedown. It's going to be a knee bar pressure if you're doing it right. All right, so here, I take a step out, and I go down. From here, I want you guys to go ahead and pair in he lands in a supine position, so I want you to go ahead and pair the knee cut pass that we're running Thursday with this. So we get him down, and then we're immediately starting our knee cut entry. So we're taking 90 degrees. So I'm taking a deep step. I'm starting my knee cut, but he gets his knee shield in. Remember, if they don't get their knee shield in, for whatever reason, as long as we secure the far side underhook, we can just cut on through. But we're going to assume that they know a little bit of Jiu Jitsu, and they give us a knee shield here. Maybe don't assume it with Chad always, but usually he's going to give you a knee shield. Okay? All right. So here, we got to deal with this. We don't want to try to keep going through it. It's kind of futile. And even if I really try to force it, I'm really, especially if he gets an underhook, I'm really exposing my back here, or I'm exposing a scramble like a dog fight. So instead, if we want to deal with this smartly, we're going to cup the knee. Take a little bit. Going to cup the knee. And then as I circle back up, make his knees point north, I'm instantly looking for the inside of the hip, right? We drilled this on Thursday. So as I come up, I'm looking for the inside of the hip right here, not his belly, not his leg, inside the hip. And I want my elbow driving against the leg because, what's up, man? Because what I don't want him to do is high leg. So right now, he can even high leg before I've actually changed levels. So I want to be able to put this wall here to slow him down. And then I want to change levels by dropping my head and my shoulder. Now that it's here, that my shoulder is here and I've committed down to this level change, it's going to be really hard for him to high leg. Next, while I keep this, I can go ahead and start my knee cut. See, I'm driving his knees apart. That's what's going to make this a lot more effective and make it harder for him to get that knee shield back in. Remember, if you don't clamp down, if you don't change levels, he can either high leg or, as we did last week, he can just clamp his knees down and get rid of my frame here. It's not super strong. I need to reinforce it with my body. So here, and now as I start to cut again, are you okay? Mm-hmm. My head is going to commit to the far shoulder because I want to keep this on the mat as much as possible as I knee cut. So as I round this corner, I'm committing forward. Once I get my knee basically free and I just need to free my foot, all I'm looking to do now is make sure I secure this underhook first. Once I've secured the underhook, I can make my knee point out and then I can slide it through. If I can check this tricep, that's just that's extra helpful because I can use that to kind of pull myself into position, or what we taught last week, which would be what I would recommend. Instead of just pulling yourself up, walk backwards into the hips and then secure side. No matter what you do, what we don't want to do is just raise up right here and create all this space so you can lock the side guard. Remember, a side guard is just him locking his elbow and his knee. And that's really all that a good guard player needs to get the guard back. Any questions on that? I'll show it one more time, but any questions on a specific piece of that? We're going to do several reps of this, and then we're going to build on it with something else.
Can you show the actual drill again?
Yeah, we're going to do this whole flow.
Oh.
And then we're going to, so if you weren't, who wasn't here on Thursday? All right. Okay, so please pair with somebody who was here on Thursday, if possible. Let's raise your hand if you were here on Thursday. Okay. Please pair with somebody, if possible, with someone who was here on Thursday. If not, it's okay. I'm going to be walking around too. And I'm sure Nick will help, Chad will help. But I want to get at least 5 to 10 reps a piece of this whole flow, and then we'll build on it. All right, so closed stance. We protect our lead leg, rear hand reach. Now it's safe to put 2 on. We play grip fight game however we need to, but whenever we finally decide to make our transition to the double tie, make sure our head position goes to the correct spot. Now I'm going to step away and pull in order to make him take that step. Now my head doesn't leave his body as I elevate his elbow, take a step to the outside, reach through, and then I run towards his other leg to secure the single. Next, we want to take a step out and start creating an angle. And then I'm going to move the floor as I commit my head down to get the run, the takedown. Next, I want you to go.
So are you using your head to get him to the ground as you rotate?
I'm committing my head down to drive my shoulder into the
You're
hip.
driving your head into them, or you're driving your shoulder into them.
It's my shoulder, but I'm saying head so that their shoulder will follow into the hip. You have something to add there? Okay. Yeah, really, I'm emphasizing the head. It really is the shoulder doing the mechanic. I just figure if I tell you to take your head down, that your shoulder will follow it and be in the right position. Because we want the shoulder pressure on the hip, like this, because it should be like a knee bar style pressure. Next, I want you to go straight into the knee cut pass. So we step deep. Remember, on any guard player, we're not stepping shallow ever. Not here. All right, we're going to step deep, start a knee cut pass. He gets his knee shield. I'm going to cut the knee. I'm going to start coming up, and I'm immediately looking for the inside of the hip. I've got my elbow here, but this is not going to be enough. This is only slowing him down. It's not going to be enough to stop the high leg or from him clamping his knees down. So I also need to change levels, get my head down, put my shoulder into the spot. Next, I can start my knee cut again. But you see now I have this wall here. It's much harder for him to get a knee shield. And as I cut my knee through, I'm looking for the far shoulder with my head, and I'm looking to secure the underhook. Now I just need to free my foot. I'm going to make my knee point out, and then I can slide through. And then we're going to walk backwards towards his hips to secure side. Any questions on that one? If you need to do just If you weren't here on Thursday and you want to do just the run the pipe first, and then just do the knee cut, that's totally fine too. I just want everybody to at least get a couple of reps of the whole flow because he's already in a supine position once you take him down. All right. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Way too fast. Yeah, that's all. That's the worst.
You worked out with the guys. You'll be all right.
No, I don't. No, stood up too fast.
Everybody, you got it. But for this stuff, we're getting up. You know, like I'm ready. Now you're different. So,
Colors out. Right?
Yeah, both hands, he said, one for, he said, two, he said, trying to be replaced. There was this.
yeah, we used to call this nice. We used to call this nice.
He's down.
Well, we used to say, we're on the same side. From there, slice it.
Down.
Makes sense.
Slice it now, you throw it. Slice it up deep.
Could be wrong. Yeah, he was. He was doing slicers tight. I'm used to it, like insane side leg.
Use your head and shoulder.
You got to
Right in. Figure out. Make sure the place. That's it. Like.
It just depends on which leg you want. If I want to be like right.
I know. Right.
Yeah. It's like.
No.
It's okay. Now you did it.
Super blind, man. Is that not what he said?
That's what I said.
No, it's not. He said.
No, straight. Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's using that like local pace of time.
No, we're just straight.
Get the knee. And then when it slides through.
That hasn't happened.
I'm just. There you go. It's still a thing. It's good. It's actually. Yeah, it's coming back. It's great. Yeah, there's a bunch of guys that you for last time. Really? Yeah. They like switched up. With my head, I felt. I get fired. How much over there? I get that like over. You are a big fan of that. Oh, like a.
Yeah, I went to the last track.
I was trying to stand up. Yeah, straight up shoulder. He takes the hip down to the ground without.
But it's right here. It may be.
Makes sense. Do we? No, it's good.
Yeah. it's not really-
Do the whole, do we have to do the whole massage or bicep thing?
Yes, you have to massage your bicep.
Can we just go here and pull?
Yeah, you can do a single leg entry without the, like, we're just, from this one, we're just doing.
He's just giving you one version
Doesn't
of
mean-
how to grab a single leg. Just one version.
Doesn't mean we can't, then we can't attack here, like, I can push and pull him.
We just felt a little awkward for doing the whole. Felt like, well,
It depends on like how you react. Yeah, it's like if you got your head in the right position and he's gripping your elbows, like that's specifically where this injury's coming from. If he's not really reacting like by your elbows, so if he's not
Right.
sorry, then like I can go snap down so I can go elsewhere. This is specifically when I take tight ties and gripping your chase. That doesn't mean that you can't collar tie. That's a single injuries. That's just one.
it just felt weird standing, like even if I have.
You need your thumbs engaged. So you're ready to. It feels comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like this.
I know that's yours. You're gonna have two.
Thank you.
Still, I'm not, no, you need to pull that leg forward. Hey, you need that step. You need that step. That leg's still back. Make the step. You step back. Hey, now it's in front of you. Back up there.
Keep your head up.
No, stay on that right there. Just repeat that.
Was that supposed to be an insult?
She will be. Sometimes you'll land in half guard. How are you landing in half guard? Hey, let me watch you. Yeah, from standing. Are you landing in half guard from the stand?
I'm not. I'm just landing in a super.
Yeah. That's all. Hey, yeah, you're not landing in half guard.
Step. Step around.
You're not landing.
That's why we're gonna do that. What? That's
Yeah.
I'll get dry. A little bit left with your sling.
We'll figure out, say we're late in it.
What? Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Sure, hey, Chad, if you don't understand, if you don't establish that underhook, you're never passing the death. His left arm needs to be, have your arm under. Guys, that underhook is so important. Get it past that guard. If you don't get it.
Yeah, you have to have it.
You have to have it, guys. I see everybody just kind of passing without that underhook. I promise, don't develop that habit. Get the arm underneath the arm. You get that under, that is a statement in you being able to develop. If you don't know what the underhook is, it is my hand going underneath his, if you're going off the drill, his left arm, my hand getting underneath his left arm in the passing, right? Get up under there, get deep, guys, bro. You don't have it. Sorry. Yeah.
Cross pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back step.
Hey, drive that bitch. You can't see it. Back down, right down. Yeah.
Step back with the right.
Probably like.
Yeah.
Everybody too hard then come back in slightly.
Just on this side, right? All right, drop the one right here, across. And then get here. Get your underhook. This one. And then your hand up. Across like I did. Yeah, you're just coming back. You try to.
Yes.
I can just. Yeah, this is crazy. But from there, you're gonna switch out back to the side.
It depends on if they have to go wide. Certainly. Yours, Peter, where it was, because they didn't have it, what? Remember?
Like I know the guys. This is how it was. You're not changing that. Watch real quick.
You know what I'm saying?
This I think is back and forth.
You put and respond at the same time. You're trying to- Right? You're not clear about it. Well, I'm sure you got it. Step back with that outside leg, just slide. Good.
Am I cutting this way to that? So do I got the long underhook?
Well, no, it depends on if he has a knee shield. No, you're cutting the other way. Because you're gonna stand up and you're gonna kick the knee out.
Oh.
But that is the knee should have been this way. So you're like here, right? This is where I'm you're picking him up. Right?
You go down.
I think
Problem was, he was-
Hey, let's come in and clean it up. This is my bad.
What if I have a bad-
So maybe we just need to spend more time. There's several little details. The first is, let's just talk about the shot. So let's say right here, I made it to this double inside tie, got my head in right position. First off, one of the questions I had was like, do we have to do this? Like, no, this is one particular entry where I have double inside ties and he has my elbows. Like this is that specific entry. Doesn't mean there's not other entries. What's a single? Right? So we're just doing this particular one. Okay. Next, let's start over here. All right, so right here, when we take our shot, first off, assuming we do it from this entry, from a double tie, I'm going to take a step away, and when I pull, first thing, I should have mentioned this. Several of you already might know this, but when we push in here, when we're standing up, our thumbs are active, right? Our thumbs are on the front side of the body. When we pull in here, our thumbs transition to the back. We always pull with all 5 fingers. But the thumb really matters in here when you're pushing and you're tracking. We're never trying to push them around like this. And we're never trying to pull them with our thumbs in the way. We're always transitioning. So when I get ready to pull, even from this double inside tie, as I take a step away, as I go to pull, my thumbs transition to the tricep, and then I pull a real strong pull with my right foot or my right arm as I circle my right foot away. You see how I brought my elbow to my pocket? We keep coming back to the concept of elbow to pocket, like the strongest connection you can make. This is immediately after I've pulled, I've planted, I'm always going to beat him here, his plant here. So the timing of it is I've pulled and then I'm immediately taking his elbow away so that I can make some room for the shot. And at the same time, I'm taking a step out. Some of you aren't doing this. I want to make sure we take a step out and we're reaching here. And my head hasn't left it, right? Then for you to collect, some of you are just kind of doing this. It's not going to work. We're going to need to keep the guy off balance so that we can actually secure the single. So I need to run towards his other foot. Now I can secure the single. The other thing that was tripping some people up here was just the takedown itself. So it comes from a pressure on the hip, which is from my shoulder. I'm telling you, take your head down towards the mat so that your shoulder will be in the right position. But even right here, if I push his hip and I pull his foot and I start cutting an ankle, he goes down. It's a knee bar pressure. So Keep those details in mind because doing this number, like pulling and then just kind of doing this isn't really going to work in a live situation. It just might work when we're drilling. Next, the knee cut itself. So the you might, so we used to refer to cut and slice differently depending on like what side of the knee, which leg we're actually cutting through with. For our purposes now, we're just referring to this as a cut. But if you've been here for a long time, you'll like Opie remembered, it was, we used to call this particular thing would have been a slice. All right, so make sure if you even were here that long, that we're doing a slice. I'm saying cut, but we're doing a slice. All right. So next, Nick already called this out. With all knee cut passes, I have to get the underhook, and it needs to be like top of mind. Like it's as important as the cut itself. So like I need to wait until I know I've got some access to an underhook. Right. So he's reaching up, he's going to reach, and as I go to cut through, I'm already looking for that underhook, right? Because you can catch the knee cut and beat the knee shield often. Like this is, especially if you're really athletic, you got good timing. Like Opie was doing it just when he was drilling, he's skipping the whole knee shield part. We're drilling, assuming that they get a knee shield. But sometimes you can go right to it, right? Just kind of depends. But no matter what, even if we get stuck and we're doing our kind of methodical approach here, where we have to beat the knee shield and we're here and we're putting our pressure down, we have to be able to secure. Don't try to put your knee through without getting the underhook, right? And especially if he's beat you to the underhook. Like now, if I keep really driving forward and I do nothing about, I don't address this at all, he's going to take my back or dogfight me, right? So if I keep trying to push through, yeah. So that's the underhook is super important, and his lifeline is an underhook on you. Okay, so don't try to pass if he has the underhook for sure, and you're probably not going to secure the pass if you don't have the underhook. Like there's no real middle ground here. Does anyone else have a question about that particular flow? I'm sorry, I know that was a lot. I should have done. We should have started with just run the pipe and then the knee cut like Thursday, since half of you weren't here. And that's my bad. Anybody have a question? Okay, we're gonna add to this, and then we're gonna continue just running the same flow. That way you get bullets down the barrel. But I'm going to, and if this is too much, don't feel like you have to do it. Like just keep doing what we just did. You don't have to add this. For those of you who were here Thursday, I'm giving you something else to add to what you already learned. All right, so we go through, we're doing our knee cut, but so I back up from the camera. All right, we get to here and we start passing, but he beats us to an underhook. Right here, the number one thing I want to prevent is what you just saw. I don't want to get my back taken. I don't want to have to fight out of a dog fight, anything like that. So the number one thing I have to do is slow him down from building height. Because he, at this point, when he has a deep underhook like this, he wants to start building height and coming up to take my back or create a dog fight. So the first thing I need to do is, if available, I'm going to try to wizard this and crash that shoulder just to slow him down. If it's so deep that I can't get the wizard, I'm going to post out and I'm going to take my head down towards the mat just to slow him down. This is, again, it's only slowing him down. Okay, so it's not going to like keep him down forever. But at the same time, I'm going to round the corner with my other hand, grab my chin strap, and I'm going to commit for me to really get a good bite here, I'm going to commit my shoulder to the mat. And as he's coming up, I'm committing my shoulder. As he continues to try to come up, I'm going to keep my chin glued to his back. Come on up. And he's coming up into an arming guillotine, which we've been running for several weeks now. So I'm not going to belabor all those details of finishing that. The number one thing I'll say right now is, in that transition, emphasize, for this particular position, emphasize keeping the chin on their back. That way they can't easily just come on up and sweep you. All right, so one more time. We're here. I start passing, but he beats me to the underhook. First thing, priority one, is not letting him build any more height. So if I can, I'm going to wizard. and I can still collect this and all that good stuff.
Got a dart set up there too.
What's that?
When you wizard, you got a dart set up. Other wizard.
Oh yeah, if his arm comes out.
Yeah, if he rips in, bro.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, if he rips it back, then you'd have a Darce. For this, I want you guys to just, if you can get the wizard, go for it. If you can't, it's okay. We're gonna take our hand to the mat and take our head towards the mat, just to slow him down. At the same time, I'm rattling the corner to grab the chin strap, start getting the bite on the neck, and I'm committing this shoulder to the mat, assuming he wants to build height, right? And if he doesn't build height, that's okay, because I'm still gonna be collecting a head and arm, and we know what we can do with the head and arm. We got several options and we can flow back and forth. We spent a month on that. All right, so now I'm committing my shoulders to the mat. As he starts to build height, I'm keeping my chin glued to him. And I'm throwing my leg over, and he's landing in the finish. I'll take my elbow in my pocket and take my knees in my fist. Any questions on that one? All right, 1, 2, 3. Let's do it one more time for the camera. I can do all that. Sure. Get on the hook, right? Commit my head down, round the corner, commit my shoulders to the mat. He comes up. Here, my chin on the back, knees to chest, elbow to pocket.
Pulled his right leg. You pulled his right leg, so that's the leg you attacked. Step wide with your right leg backward. Your right leg, step backward. Now look what leg's stand for. His left leg. You're shooting forward with your left arm. No, the other way. The other way. Hey, if that was too much, just do what we were doing before. Don't feel like you have to put in that. Just do the takedowns, you just do the stuff. Don't feel like you have to do everything I'm saying. Now, lift with your right arm and shoot your left arm through her legs. Head stays on the inside. Now, step backwards with your right leg and drive down your hip. But you're not going to necessarily always fall into half or a knee shield here. But if you want to step into a knee shield, you're like,
No.
Keep that right knee driving forward till it hits the mat. Your right knee on the mat. Come to me with it. Yep. Make the turn.
it's on your hook.
Yep. You can scoot further up from lower body with that right.
Head on the inside. Now wrap it up with your left.
Drop your right.
Now step back.
See how
Step back.
make the turn.
Yeah, see it.
Basically, you get a single leg, but you get it. But you get it. Right here, and you spin it right there. Like drive your heart.
Whenever you're going. Right. Yeah.
And he tries to get up. Now pass from the lower half. Pass from the lower half. You can scoop up your body and super up with that right leg coming tight. No.
What the following goes.
Step back with your right leg and let him fall in that open hole. There it is. Now start your back. Slide, underhook.
I'm doing something different right here.
No, you're fine. You slide that right knee into the mat while you're going for your underhook. That's better. Got this like small. I thought about that earlier and I was like, can't guess it's right there.
It's so floppy.
No, it's not. It's whatever works. Yeah.
No, everybody goes like, start working.
It's all good. Yeah.
That's it, that's all.
It's all his fault. I know. I was gonna say it really did.
But I didn't.
Yeah. It's that close. Under puts that on. Shift that.
It's really bad for our cough.
Hang stay right there. Hold it. There you go. I don't forget. This is
I know.
That's a weird.
For that 18 legs.
It's almost never out the other. It's, I feel like having to do things. You're now, it's like, on push out. It sits right here.
Underhooks, not usually. Yes, now flatten them out.
Don't have my knees here. Or even here. Have this, they're like.
Is it?
So as soon as you get there, like I'm saying, grab the legs with your right knee, because your right knee is so far down. Just kind of at her waist.
Yeah.
That ought to tell you if I'm telling you to strike.
I feel like it'd be really easy if there's just like.
Wide face, kick it out, like a, Danny Cooper, the Jacks up versus this. 6'12".
I know.
Step back with your right and let it drop in the hole as you drive it down. And up. Step back with your right. And then put him on his butt where your foot was. There you go.
All right, you did good. If you're grabbing his left leg, then your right leg steps backward. If you're grabbing his right leg, then your left leg.
Sweep the leg.
Yeah, if you're going for a submission there, you're gonna have to let go of the underhook.
Okay.
Yeah. Your position is not fast. Maintaining that underhook is so good. I just, like, he's gonna have a little bit more confusion.
I haven't, but you don't understand.
Yeah. That's where the thing here, I'm gonna just.
You can do the thing.
Are we top? Yeah. Yeah. That's my favorite thing. Like the rest of the
I only know how to do it. I just try to do that for like the.
Oh,
It's the shoot, the shooting. Yeah, not the rescue. The rescue walks like the duck walk. It's like.
yeah.
Why do we have that? It's, oh, it's terrible.
It's all like this.
But yeah, go back, I'm trying to slip. Over to my.
At least I thought I should. Oh, yeah. If you're doing the arm in, one leg over, one leg over. Yeah. Take it.
Let me off.
You're better at those than me, dude. I love the arm in guillotine. It's just like, I feel like I can just get my chin in with the fit.
I would rather get a normal one, a slider break. If there's something in the universe, hey, I'm just talking to you, I'm like. Yeah, I'm trying to get you like, arm is pain.
That's one of his things.
Hey, one thing now, guys. This is just check it out real quick. But if you want to do it or not, it's optional. I'm just making sure it's part of the class, and you can go back and drill it on your own time too. If you feel like you've got all these pieces and you want to go through a whole flow, let's do. Let's go. Don't feel like you have to do this, but if you're feeling comfortable, you already got some of these in Thursday. We're gonna run the pipe, do the knee cut, bell the knee cut, arm and guillotine, and then I want them to do the arm and guillotine escape. If you don't know that, then it tells you automatically you don't need to do this. Disregard. Keep doing what you've been doing. If you know all the things I just said, go ahead and just chain them together for the next 5-10 minutes before we do our positionals and wrap up. Okay. So we're gonna do our entry here. We're here. I'm not making take a step forward. Elevating the elbow, coming in. I'm going to run towards his foot. Take a step out, went down. I'm going into my knee cuts. And then we can go ahead and, for the sake of time, do like one or two where we beat the knee shield. The other times, let's just go ahead and assume that we at least start passing and he gets to underhook. All right. Now I'm going to commit down. We're here, get my shoulder. Okay. Now I want you to do, yep. Wait, back, roll some. But you got it. Roll. Yep. All right. Good.
That's the whole flow.
So if you don't know the escape, then don't do that. But if you know all the pieces that we just did, spend the next 5 minutes at least doing the whole flow. Okay. If not, if you want to just do the takedown right now, just do the takedown. If you want to just do the knee cut, whatever you and your partner agree on, don't feel obligated to do everything I'm saying. I'm trying to emphasize that. I don't want you to get too much information in here. All right. But if you feel comfortable, do the whole flow. All right. 1, 2, 3.
I was trying to do the escape before. I just
Yeah.
wanted the knee comes over.
Yeah.
I was gonna like bowling ball your leg. Never mind. He wants me to do nothing wrong. Oh yeah. I'll take them.
Right leg. Yeah.
You can't punch someone with glasses.
No.
What leg do you have? What leg do you have? I want to remember this right now. What leg do you have?
There's a lot of
You're right.
a lot of figure about it.
If you're facing, you got that leg and that's
Grapple.
Outside legs. The one you have.
you got this leg. JC is
That was
actually
it.
taking here.
It's fun.
I think that's what's getting you is he's actually.
Same roll.
He's going here and here. But if you got a big one, same size leg, back, I've got this here. Okay, this, you take a hit right here, and then the big one's here, so here.
These are dumb.
Whatever leg you got, that's the leg.
It's working now.
Yeah.
I'll play it. I'll play it.
Thanks. Okay, now you've got that leg on your left shoulder. Yeah.
I just feel like a soccer. I just get them rotating and just get out. I think it's more of a trip.
These legs.
Oh yeah, definitely. It is.
This
I
side,
wonder if I can do it.
that leg there, side.
Sorry, my bad.
Back.
I don't know if straight up.
Back with your same side leg and drop the leg over.
Oh.
I think it's
You're saying let go of this. Sorry.
Push him down. Yeah, you can't just push to the side. You gotta push like over the next landing. You gotta pull back. All at the same, all at the same time. Just make it levitate, basically. Basically, all you gotta do is on.
Okay.
Y'all been kind of leaving out that additional.
I didn't know we were fighting. Straight up.
We're all. You got what's laying over here on this side of her body. You're gonna step back with this legs on the same side. Why you gotta take that?
I don't know what that is. You pop up off the ground, you lay down, you see your feet sore. I feel it.
Square. All right, so her leg, you got. Yeah, don't, that same leg, get off their top.
Yeah, you want your shoulder on top of the neck. Because it's a weird slide. Yeah, don't fight more like,
Yeah, go on.
it makes it a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This, it's kind of like. Yeah. Gotcha. Oh, so it's like a.
Might have.
Yeah, it's like. Okay, yeah. That's not supposed to be that crank, but it's like. It looks like if they tap me that, yeah, that's whatever. I go like this. I go.
I'm the kind of person.
Drop your right leg.
He's been. I just stand up.
Maybe that's not just like.
Yeah, I do that.
If I'm feeling sad. I can't do that.
Right here. Not come around.
Yeah, wide face, wide face. Yeah, one fist and take another.
Like going across.
Went like. It's like you're on my. You literally haven't gone the whole time. Okay, so hold on this way. I drive forward and pull back.
All right, y'all, let's do one round of positional, and then we're gonna call it. So your
It's too much.
positional is gonna be 60 seconds per person. I'll start the clock in a second. Can you do you don't mind setting it to a minute?
Wait, like King of the Hill, we're on line.
Just with your partner.
Oh.
For chat. So first off, the only objective is your one person's going to start from supine. Your only objective is to land a knee cut pass. Their only objective is to keep retaining their guard. If you're on bottom, you're not looking for a sweep. You're not looking for a sub. You're just looking for guard retention. If you're on top, you're not looking for anything except the pass and just the knee cut pass. Okay. You get 60 seconds, and then we'll swap, and then the other person's on top. And then we'll have open mat.
So you're running the drill on a clock and they're trying not to let you freaking do it.
Yes, don't let them get it.
Break out.
Split up. All right, get ready. On the belt. Just a knee group.
Y'all go and go over. Get out.
Yeah.
There.
It's not all fair.
I saw him go too far, like he's
I
going.
know, I felt it.
He got over his. Drive that far, shoulder, doesn't worry about that dart.
I tried to.
I want that cross.
Away.
Nobody.
I let you get nothing. On the belt, then get the pass and reset. And just go thing for the top.
Actually, it's supposed to be working.
And he's human.
Okay, let's do this. Is this a pass? Nope, it's not. It's not a pass. It's not a pass.
Set up two.
The pass number. Okay. Start them pop.
Something didn't happen. Sure. I don't think it's supposed to pop. Just stay.